Mykayla. All right, so this is super late, and I totally didn't forget about you, but I just have not been feeling connected. But everything's good now, so here's your reading, finally. The cards are shuffled, so I'm just cutting them right now. All right. This covers you. This sums up your overall situation. So, most likely, this would be an aspect of yourself. A lot of times, princesses and princes can be people that we know. And as we lay out more cards, it might turn out that this is somebody else. But for right now, I would just read this as these energies within you. So you're tapping into the part of yourself, or you're involved in some type of an activity or an experience that brings out this archetype in you. So spring translates to the staves, which is fire. So, and princess being the more immature expression, not in a completely bad way. There are pros and cons, but youthful enthusiasm, motivation, optimism, some of the less, I don't even want to, some of the not so positive aspects of that being like impulsivity, a lot of enthusiasm to start projects, but fizzling out quickly, starting a lot of things you don't finish, hopping from thing to thing, not really much follow through. So a lot of energy, but unfocused. So that's just something to watch out for. But if this is you right now, you're finding yourself in a place where you have a lot of energy, but it's scattered energy, a lot of enthusiasm and optimism, but maybe not the most practical and sensible approach. You may not be thinking of the practical aspects of a situation, but like I said, neither good nor bad. What crosses you, so what affects this for better or for worse? So what is impacting that is, and this could be leading to that new exuberance, or it could be tampering it down a little, just depending on how this has affected you. But recently, you've been on this journey where you experienced some pain, you took some time, and you allowed yourself to heal. And then you made the decision to move on. But now you are actually taking steps or making progress toward that next phase. So you see in the picture, there's the boat. So this boat is signifying moving you from the area that you experience your difficulty into the next place that you're meant to be, starting the new leg of your journey. And you're not completely leaving the whole thing behind like it never happened. You're carrying with you in the boat the lessons that you learned, but you're leaving behind the pain. So you're not clinging to it or hanging on to it or dwelling on it anymore, but you're also not completely forgetting about it. You're integrating the lessons and the wisdom that you gained and then taking that with you to the next part. So you'll do even better with whatever's in store for you next at that new terrain, because you also have those tools that you gained through your struggle. So with this impacting this could either mean that, you're excited for this new place that you're headed to, and you're really enthusiastic about it, and you feel like anything is possible, and so that could have reawakened that fiery aspect within you. Or it could be impacting it in the opposite way. Only you would know. What's beneath you? So the foundation of this issue, where this stems from, what created that? Again, this is the rest. And that falls right in with what I was just saying about that journey where you moved through something emotionally challenging. And when you took your time to rest and to heal, because you can't just jump from pain to plan B, or wrecked plans to new plan. There has to be that time in between where you take some time for yourself, you slow down, You let yourself rest, you let yourself heal, you regain your energy and your focus so that you can be prepared for what's coming next. And that is that moving forward. So what this grew out of is the time that you had taken to rest and to heal, and that gave you the insight, the clarity, and the energy to be able to move forward and to have this enthusiasm. It would not be available to you if you had not replenished yourself. In your recent past, what's behind you, you recently had a change of perspective. And that very well could have happened either during your reflection time, your resting time, or possibly right after that. And sometimes the only way that we hear the message of the universe is by silencing everything else. We have so much hustle and bustle and activity going on that it's difficult to tune into what the universe is trying to tell us, or to access the additional wisdom or insight that's being offered to us. We can't see it, we can't hear it because we have so much going on, or we're so focused on our drama, our issues, our hurt. But because you did take that time, and like I said, either during that or after that, that allowed you the time that you needed to think about things from a different standpoint. Maybe to consider somebody else's perspective. Maybe you experienced something that while you were analyzing it, you understood on a deeper level how somebody else must have felt when you did that to them. Or, it filled in a picture and gave you an additional facet to understanding a situation that you had only understood from one perspective before. So either you were able to understand your actions because somebody committed those to you, or you understood and had some compassion for something somebody else had done because you found yourself in a similar situation and experienced that struggle yourself. In your near future, so what is before you, you've got a lot of things about to happen. And this is, it is good. It can be overwhelming, but you're an energetic person and you have the enthusiasm necessary and the energy to handle it. But a word of caution, because you are in that phase, that it's going to be very easy to get, not overwhelmed, that's not the right word, but to get distracted because there's so many different things going on. And while they are all important, and while they do all need to be addressed, it can be really easy to start something and then decide, I have to work on this. Oh yeah, right. And what about this? And what about that? And then at the end, you really haven't made much progress in any area, but you've expended a lot of energy to get nowhere. And that's not saying that that's what's going to happen. This is just saying what's going to happen is that you are going to have that influx of things happening, a lot coming at you. And because you're in this state here where it is very easy for you to get distracted and to start things and not finish, it's just something to be mindful of. But it's also exciting. So yeah, areas where you were waiting for things to happen, progress wasn't being made, things felt stalled out, you may have gotten impatient, you're going to start seeing that resurgence, that unthawing, the flow coming back again, and it's going to bring with it a lot of activity. What crowns you, the best thing that you have going for you in this situation, well, you may be going through like your final trial. It might be a struggle, but this is not necessarily, no card, as you know, is good or bad, but this isn't necessarily like a bad thing, because even though this is a challenge or it is a struggle, you're almost there. You've done a lot of work, you've put in a lot of time, and you can see over on the horizon your goal. You're almost there because the 9 is almost completion. You've almost reached it. So even though you've got one last struggle that's thrown at you, the advantage is that that once this is completed, you're there. So that helps keep you strong and to keep you brave. Also, you've got people around you in your environment that you can tap into as resources, guides, people who have been through it before. So even though it is to you unfamiliar terrain and an experience you haven't had before, so it could be scary and overwhelming, at the same time, you're not doing it alone. And you do have people that can lend their experience. All right. You in this situation. So you are part of like a group of women. You are participating with most likely women. That's just that's what I'm getting. I mean, it might not be, could be just be feminine energy, but you are a part of a group that has provided encouragement, optimism, and support to keep other people going. You may have been the optimism or the shining light that helped somebody make it through another day, or that inspired somebody to keep on going, to keep on trying. And as part of that network, you also have the others that will help lift you up when you might feel discouraged. And you all help each other to stay optimistic and positive and to not give up, and remind each other of your strengths and your successes, and you congratulate and celebrate each other. And that's a really awesome thing to have, especially in, when you're dealing with new and scary situations that are unfamiliar to you. It makes you feel like you can handle whatever life throws at you. In your environment, so something that affects this situation that is not specifically you. So there's somebody in your environment that impacts you is experiencing a call to follow their heart. They have found something that, for whatever reason, speaks to them. It feels meant to be. It feels destiny. It feels right. And it's really pulling them in that direction. But they may be struggling with the choice, or maybe they've made the choice. Either way, there is an option. They can follow their heart, and they just know instinctively and intuitively that this would bring them the most emotional satisfaction. It would highlight all of their positives and to support them in any of their weaknesses. And it would be not like it would complete them, because they are already a complete person, but it would complement them. It would, the sum of them and this other thing, whether it be another person like a soulmate, or just the perfect job, or the most fitting hobby, whatever it is, this person and that thing combined, it creates this alchemy where the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, if that makes any sense. So it brings out the best in them, and it's not just it's two-sided, it's mutual. So the energy that's contributed is equal, and it's really a beautiful thing that they're looking at. This is not saying that this person has chosen to go with that, but that they have that path opening up to them. But it's possible that they might be struggling with, because we always have a choice. They might want to choose a more practical or safe, or a choice that maybe would please their parents more, or that society expects from them. So while this is an opportunity that's present for someone in your environment, it's not necessarily a given that they've chosen to pursue it. But whatever they're currently dealing with that does impact what you're dealing with here. Your hopes or fears as it pertains to this situation. So that princess was definitely you. And you understand that you have some more personal development that needs to happen, or that your energy is a bit scattered. You hope to be able to focus all of your energy in the most productive way. You hope to keep your motivation, your energy, and your optimism. You don't want to lose that, but you want to make it work for you. And you want to make sure that you are appropriately channeling your energy in the ways that will be of maximum benefit to you and your life, and that will bring you the most progress. You're hoping to be able to find the mature discernment to be able to choose which things deserve your energy and which things to pass on. Not to take on too much so you don't burn yourself out, not to say yes to too many things, because then you don't have anything left for yourself and you can't pour from an empty cup. So just being able to find that confidence, that firm understanding, being able to maintain your boundaries, being able to put out your energy in the right way, so that you get a lot out of it, but also it doesn't drain you. So you are hoping to get to move from princess to queen, which is awesome. To acknowledge that might be a potential downfall, but also not to be like, oh, well, I have to get rid of all that exuberance. You are wise enough to understand that you can still keep that, but you need to try to find some kind of way, or you'd like to find some way to keep all the positive while highlighting some areas that might be current weaknesses for you. Possible outcome if you continue on your current path, and you have free will, so you can make different choices anytime. But if things keep going the way that they are going, you are going to find yourself in a situation that may feel a little bit challenging for you. And that's just a trial or a challenge that will only seek to strengthen and grow you. You can use that as an opportunity for evolution, a catalyst for transformation if you so choose, but it's going to be hard. And I believe that ties into this. This last challenge before you reach this goal, it's going to come with some backlash. Not everybody's going to be supportive. You might have to explain your decisions or defend your decisions, and you might feel like you have questions coming at you from all kinds of directions. You might feel put on trial. Not that's kind of a strong way to put it. You might feel called to explain your personal decisions. You might feel like you have to justify why you're doing what you're doing, but stand your ground. It's frustrating when you feel like not everyone's in your corner and that you have to stand firm, but don't let that creep in and give you doubt, make you doubt yourself or give up. Just stay strong. And this is saying that you will be inclined to do so. And that is actually going to reveal more of yourself to you. You're going to actually learn more about yourself by standing strong through that challenge, and that other people will respect you too. They'll see that you're serious. They'll see that it's important to you, and that you can't be pushed around. You can't be talked out of it, and this really is important to you, and it's not just a frivolous thing. So hang tight. Don't let anybody bully you out of something that's really important to you. And also because you have this network, that these people are in your corner, these women most likely. And so when you feel like there's all this challenge coming at you, this resistance, don't forget to draw from the support and the encouragement of these people here who have your back and who will keep you strong and positive through the upcoming challenges. And also the people that have navigated that terrain before, that can give you advice and tips. Hang in there and be strong. Keep your focus. You want to, so that's the best place to start. I don't really know what this has to do with. I hope that you do. If not, it could just be, I hesitate to say that it would be you because it's your environment, but it could be somebody in your environment that's offering you something that speaks to your heart. And maybe that's the thing that might be challenged by people because it might not seem practical or rational or, but it's something that you're passionate about, and you may want to pursue it, and despite others' objections. But I could be off base there because I'll have to think about that, but it could possibly make sense to you, and that's really all that matters. As long as you understand what's being communicated to you, then my job is done. But I can do another reading to clarify that aspect or any other aspects that don't make sense to you. But otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Sorry it took so long, and namaste.